Access Kiona's voice dropped. I helped design it, that's why he paid so much for. Me at the auction, I wasn't just any Verdante, I was a specific acquisition. Ryan's eyes widened as the pieces fell into place. That's why the bounty is so high. He's not after revenge, he's after the navigation system, which I would never give him, Kiona said fiercely. My people were betrayed once before by those seeking our technology. I won't let it happen again. Ryan studied her face. Seeing the determination there, then we use his obsession against him, come on. They moved through the residential sector, avoiding the main corridors, as they reached a maintenance junction. Alarms blared throughout the station dex's distraction. Ryan explained, guiding her into a service tunnel now for hours. He pulled out a small device and handed it to Kiona. This is a signal amplifier. If Thal is using a Verdante biosignature scanner, this will make your signature appear to be coming from multiple locations. Kiona examined the device with professional interest. Clever. But it needs to be calibrated to my specific frequency. Can you do it? Her fingers were already dancing across the device's interface. Of course, but I'll need to remove the pigment from my skin. And the scanner works by detecting our natural bioluminescence. Ryan kept watch. What? Kiona wiped away Mars Cosmetics, revealing her true emerald complexion. As the pigment came off the patterns on her skin became visible again, faint swirls that reminded Ryan of their night together. You're glowing, he observed. Softly, Kiona glanced up, a shy smile playing at her lips. Strong emotions, remember, their eyes held for a moment, a world of unspoken feelings passing between them. Then Kiona returned to the amplifier, making final adjustments. Done, she announced. When activated, it will project my signature to 3 different locations on the station. Ryan took the device and placed it on a maintenance drone. Perfect. This little guy will take a tour of the station while we head for the extraction point. As they prepared to move out, Kiona suddenly caught Ryan's arm. Wait, there's something else you should know. Her expression was so serious that Ryan felt a flutter of concern. What is it? Last night, what happened between us? She seemed to struggle for words. In Verdant culture, such intimacy is rare outside of formal pair bonding. Ryan blinked, processing the implications. Are you saying we're married? Not exactly, but among my people it would be considered a significant commitment. She looked away. I should have told you before. Ryan gently turned her face back to his. Would you have chosen differently if you had the vulnerability? In her ice blue eyes nearly took his breath away. No, she whispered. Would you? Instead of answering, Ryan kissed her, a tender affirmation that needed no words. When they parted, Kiona's skin was glowing brighter than before, the patterns pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. We should go, she said, though she made no move to step away from him. Ryan activated the drone, sending it scuttling away with Kiona's biosignature amplifier. Almost immediately they heard shouts from a nearby corridor as TH's hunters detected the multiple signals. Now, Ryan said, taking her hand, they raced through the service tunnels, emerging near a maintenance airlock that would give them access to the external docking ports. As they rounded the final corner, they came face to face with Varek Tull himself. The Krell merchant stood blocking their path, flanked by 2 armed guards, his reptilian face contorted into what might have been a smile, revealing rows of needle-sharp teeth. The human who stole my property, he hissed, his remaining fingers flexing around the biosignature scanner. And the Verdante engineer who owes me a finger. Ryan stepped protectively in front of Kiona. She owes you nothing, Thal. She's not property, she's a free woman. TH's laugh was like stones grinding together. Free, she is worth millions in technology rights alone. Did she tell you that? Did she mention how her navigation system could control the trade routes of an entire sector? I know exactly what she's worth, Ryan replied evenly. That's why I'm not letting you take her. The Krill's eyes narrowed. You humans and your primitive notions of freedom, always fighting for lost causes. Not lost, Ryan corrected, just untamed. TH raised his weapon. Enough talk. Step aside, human, or die where you stand. Ryan didn't move. You know what I've noticed about you, TH? You're so focused on what's in front of you that you never watch your back. The Krell frowned, then stiffened as the coal barrel of a blaster pressed against his skull. Captain's right, Mira said, emerging from the shadows behind TH. It's a serious tactical flaw. Cord and the Mavonian twins appeared behind the guards, weapons drawn. The balance of power shifted in an instant. You're outnumbered, Thul, Ryan said calmly. Drop your weapons and call off your hunters. The Krell's face twisted with rage. This isn't over, human. The bounty on your heads will only increase. Every mercenary in the sector will hunt you down. Maybe, Ryan conceded, but not today. As thallantly disarmed, Kiona stepped forward, her eyes locked on the Krell merchant Mai. Technology was designed to save lives, not control them, she said, her voice steady despite the glow pulsing beneath. Her skin, remember that when you dream of empire, some things aren't meant to. Beyond, the merchant's reptilian eyes burned with hatred, but he remained silent as Cord bound his hands. What now, Captain? Mara asked, keeping her blaster trained on TH's guards. Ryan glanced at the airlock indicator. Now we leave quickly, station security will be here soon. As they secured their prisoners, Ryan pulled Kiona aside. Are you okay? She nodded, though her hands trembled slightly. I never thought I'd face him again. You did more than face him, Ryan said softly. You stood your ground, reminded him that some spirits can't be broken. Kiona's fingers intertwined with his eye, had a good example to follow. The way she looked at him then, with trust, admiration, and something deeper, made Ryan's heart race. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he knew with absolute certainty that rescuing this untamable woman had been the best decision of his life. The Nomad burst from Helios station's docking clamps, engines flaring. As it accelerated away from the massive structure inside the ship, the crew worked with practiced efficiency, each at their station as they prepared for the jump to hyperspace. We've got company, Dex announced, his cybernetic eye warring. As he monitored the sensors, 3 pursuit vessels just launched. A soul must have backup we didn't account for. Ryan leaned over the navigation console. How long until we can jump? Drive needs 3 minutes to charge. Cord rumbled from engineering. Those radiation burns from the nebula didn't fully heal. We don't have 3 minutes, Mara warned from tactical. They're gaining fast. Kona, who had been quietly observing from beside Ryan, suddenly straightened. There's something wrong with our ship, she said, her voice tight with concern. I can feel it, an irregular vibration in the hull. Ryan trusted her Verdante senses without question. Now Dex full scan. Look for anything attached to our exterior. The scan results appeared on the main screen, revealing 3 small devices magnetically attached to the Nomad's hull. Tracking beacons, Dex confirmed. Military grade. They're broadcasting our position to the pursuit ships. Can we remove them? Ryan asked. Cord shook his massive head. Not without an EVA, and we don't have time for that. Then we fight, Mara said grimly, powering up the weapon systems. Kiona placed a hand on Ryan's arm. Wait, I have an idea. She moved to an auxiliary console, her fingers flying across the interface. The beacons operate on a standard frequency matrix. If I can access their programming. The crew watched in fascination as Kiona worked, her emerald skin beginning to glow with concentration. The patterns that Ryan now recognized as indicators of her emotional state pulsed with increasing intensity. There, she said after a tense minute, I have reprogrammed the beacons to transmit false coordinates. When we jump, they'll lead those ships in the opposite direction. Ryan smiled with pride. Brilliant. Cord status on the hyperdrive, 90 seconds to full charge. They're in weapons range, Mara reported. Brace for impact. The first volley from the pursued ships rocked the Nomad, but its shields held. Ryan ordered evasive maneuvers, buying them precious seconds. As Kona's reprogrammed beacons began transmitting their false data, its working. Dex confirmed one of the pursuit ships is breaking off following the false signal. 2 more to go, Ryan said. Mara returned fire. Target their weapon systems only. The Nomad's guns blazed, striking one of the remaining pursuers. The ship veered off the trailing debris. Hyperdrive ready, and Cord announced. Jump now, Ryan ordered. The stars stretched into lines as the Nomad leapt into hyperspace, leaving the final pursuit ship behind. A collective sigh of relief swept through the bridge. Did we lose them? Terran asked. Dex checked the sensors for now, but as long as those beacons are attached to our hull, can potentially track us again once we drop out of hyperspace. Then we make a stop somewhere we can safely remove them, Ryan decided. Plot a course for the Callisto asteroid belt. We have a friend there who owes us a favor. As the crew dispersed to their duties, Ryan found Kiona still at the auxiliary console, her shoulders slumped with exhaustion. The glow beneath her skin had dimmed to a soft shimmer. You saved us, he said quietly, coming to stand beside her again. She looked up at him, a tired smile playing at her lips. It seems to be becoming a habit. Ryan helped her to her feet. Come on, you need rest. In his quarters, which had somehow become their quarters over the past few days, Kiona sank onto the edge of the bed. Ryan sat beside her, taking her hands in his. What you did back there, reprogramming those beacons on the fly. That was incredible. Kiona shrugged modestly. Basic Verdante engineering. Children learn such things. Remind me never to underestimate Verdante children. Ryan chuckled, then more seriously, Thul won't stop coming after us, will he not? As long as he believes I possess the navigation technology. She hesitated. Theirs. Something I haven't told you about it. Ryan waited patiently as she gathered her thoughts. The system isn't just theoretical. I completed it before I was captured. She reached into a hidden pocket in her jumpsuit and withdrew a small data crystal. Everything is here, the algorithms, the interface designs. Everything needed to navigate the most dangerous regions of space safely. Ryan stared at the crystal, understanding its value and the danger it represented. This time you had it with you. I couldn't risk Thul finding it. And then she looked up at him, her ice blue eyes searching his eye. Wasn't sure I could trust you, and now the patterns on her skin brightened. Now I know I can. Ryan carefully took the crystal and placed it on the bedside table. Tomorrow we'll figure out what to do with this together. He cupped her face gently, his thumb tracing the luminescent patterns on her cheek. Right now all that matters is that you're safe, that we're safe. Kiona leaned into his touch, her eyes closing briefly. When Thul captured me, I thought my life was over. I never imagined what Ryan prompted softly, that being sold at auction would lead me to freedom. Her eyes opened, meeting his with an intensity that took his breath away. That being bought would lead me to belonging. Ryan's heart swelled with emotion. You then? And perhaps, she whispered, leaning closer, I simply needed the right person to not try taming me. Their lips met in a kiss that spoke of all they'd been through together, the danger, the trust, the growing bond that neither had expected but both now cherished. Kiona's skin glowed brighter, illuminating the room with patterns that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Later, as they lay entwined in the quiet aftermath of passion, Ryan traced the fatting patterns on her emerald skin. And these are beautiful, he murmured, like star maps. In a way they are, Kiona explained, her voice soft with contentment. They reflect our internal state, our emotions, our connections among my people. There considered the truest form of communication. What are they saying now? She took his hand and placed it over her heart. That I have found my home. 3 months later, the Nomad drifted in the peaceful orbit of a small uninhabited moon. On the observation deck, the crew gathered to witness something none of them had expected to see: their captain and the Verdante woman, who had become an integral part of their team, standing together before Cord, who, as the ship's oldest member, had the authority to perform the ceremony. The traditional Verdante pair bonding ritual had been modified to include human customs, creating something unique, just like their relationship. As Ryan and Kiona exchanged vows, her skin glowed with patterns more intricate and beautiful than any the crew had seen before. Never thought I'd see the day. Morrow whispered to Dex, our captain, tamed at last. Dex's cybernetic eye ward as he observed the couple. I wouldn't call it taming, he replied thoughtfully, more like finding his match. The navigation system that had nearly cost Kiona her freedom had instead become the crew's most valuable asset. With it, the Nomad now specialized in rescue missions in danger spees, saving those whom others couldn't reach. The bounty on their heads had eventually been lifted when evidence of Thur's illegal activities reached galactic authorities, anonymous evidence that had mysteriously appeared in all the right places. As the ceremony concluded, Ryan pulled Kiona into an embrace, whispering words meant only for her. The patterns on her skin responded, pulsing with joy that needed no translation. Some spirits Ryan had learned were never meant to be tamed. They were meant to be set free to soar alongside those who recognized their true value, not as possessions but as partners. And as the Nomad continued its journey among the stars, its human captain and his Verity partner proved that the most valuable things in the universe were never the ones you could buy, but the ones you were willing to fight for.